Hey everyone, so the question is, should you buy or sell? That's the question on everybody's mind. Some people are saying you should sell. Some people are saying that you should buy. Some people are saying that a crash is coming up. And then there's others saying that this is a bull trap. If you buy, they're going to sell their shares onto you and you're going to lose money. I'm going to explain why. Some people are saying buy, sell, or a crash, or even a trap. So if you look at the news, a lot of news articles are on the edge that collapse in the stock market is imminent, right? Dow slides, NASDAQ recovers amid growing doubts on a Fed rate cut. They're saying that it's a possibility that there may not be a cut in December. So that's why the market's going down some. Stocks notch worst day in over a month as tech sell-off intensifies. 20 hours ago. If you listened to that and didn't buy, you missed out on a huge chance to make money today. This is why you have to do your own due diligence and know when to buy and sell a stock. Another reason why the market is going down. Shutdown data delays linger as government reopens, risking inflation and jobs report. So risking inflation. It doesn't mean there is inflation or inflation is going higher. It's a risk. So there's no guarantee that this is actually bad news. If people are losing jobs, yes, of course, that's bad news. But it does make a case for an interest rate cut in December. Here's some more news. Trump administration says it may never report October's inflation and job loss data. So I'm guessing the job loss data was pretty bad and they're like, yeah, we're not releasing this. So they're blaming the shutdown for the job loss. Data from the private sector firm ADP showed the U.S. economy lost about 11,000 jobs per week through late October. That's a lot of jobs. But then they go back and say the October PCE price index and October core PCE price index, key inflation measures, are the primary U.S. economic data report scheduled. So they are going to release the October core PCE price index November 26th. But the job loss data, probably won't see it. Now let's look at the charts and see if this market is a buy or a sell. Now here's a list of tech stocks I have on the left side. I'll go through it real fast. SMCI, bullish. Oracle, bullish. Everything's bullish here. Tesla, everything is green. Everything is going up. I want to tell you why. Give me 1 second. Nvidia, 190, bullish. Broadcom, Microsoft. Microsoft look real good. That's a nice little bullish chart right there for on the hourly for Microsoft. CRWV, CoreWeave, going up, but having some problems. Marvell, straight bullish. Straight up, green candles. Then we have the Qualcomm, nice. Meta, looking real nice. Meta look real nice because I think it's been selling too much and now people are buying like crazy. All green candles on the hourly. I don't see no red. Q's ETF went to 597 to 613 in 1 day. Imagine buying that low, 597, and it's at 613 now. You bought calls or shares. You made a lot of money today, just 1 day. So let's look at Nvidia. I'll use this chart as an example. So Nvidia has earnings next week, right? For people who are saying this is a bull trap, the market is about to sell off, the crash is coming. If that's going to happen, it is not happening right now. Nvidia earnings is next week. People are positioning themselves for these earnings. Now, if Nvidia earnings is horrible or bad, yeah, we may see a sell-off or a possible crash. But who's selling now before Nvidia earnings? That's what I want to know. Now, for people who are saying this is a bull trap, where in the chart where you see a bull trap? This green candle on the daily chart is bullish. I do not see a trap. As I said before, if there is a trap, it will probably happen after Nvidia earnings, right? This right here shows investors getting back into the stock market. Is it up too high in 1 day? Yeah, possibly. But you remember, tech has been selling off. Nvidia was at 212 and the low for today was at 180. Now, should you ignore the warning signs of an overextended AI tech market? Because it is up a lot. Nvidia was at $86 and went from 212 and pretty much a short time, right? So should you ignore that? We have 2 weekly red candles at the top that is possibly showing a downtrend where Nvidia could drop to like the 160, 170 area. No, I wouldn't ignore it, but the timing for a crash or a downtrend is not right now, in my opinion. Investors are waiting for the Nvidia earnings. Investors are also waiting for the data reports. Once we start getting some data reports in showing how the economy looks like, then you can possibly say stock market may come down a little bit depending on the data report and Nvidia earnings, because it's very possible that investors might have already priced in the bad news. And what happens when it's priced in? When the market price bad news in beforehand, it means that it can start going back up again and the bad news is behind us. When the bad news is behind us, stock market goes up. And if you look at the 5-minute chart for Nvidia, this looks pretty strong. We have an uptrend here, came down, consolidated, uptrend, consolidated, uptrend. Now consolidating for a long time right here. So you do want to be on watch for this long consolidation, because at some point this is either going to come down or go up at some point, because it's been consolidating for a long time, and it's a 50-50 chance if it go up or down. In this area right here, there's a higher chance that it's going to go up. The MACD and RSI look good, and we're in an uptrend, but it's starting to slowly come down to a downtrend of a support at 189.50. If it starts to break 189.50 and goes down to the 188 area, then you have somewhat of a downtrend. But on a daily, you won't be in a downtrend. You're way above the downtrend, and you're still looking good for NVIDIA. So yeah, be careful of people saying it's going to be a sell-off, a crash, or a bull trap. Do your due diligence first and try to figure out what's really going on, because a lot of times a market will sell off. It'll be priced in, and then it'll go up. It'll slowly rise on you, and it'll take out all the short sellers, and then the short sellers will be forced to buy back in because they thought it was going to keep going down, but it's not. You also have to remember, there's times when the stock market was selling off, and people thought the data reports were going to be bad, and they were good, and then the market went right back up again. And I will mention again, so I'll be on record, I'm not saying it's going to be a sell-off or it won't be a market crash, because I do see some resistance at the top, but I'm just putting it out there. If the data reports are good and the jobs start to slow down where we're not losing so many jobs, it will not be a crash. It may be a little bit of a downtrend, but a crash, it wouldn't happen if the data reports are good. NVIDIA looks good, because what's going to happen is people are going to buy the dip, and it's going to push the market right back up again. And here's a few stocks on my list that I do see the potential of having a nice reversal at some point. The first one, Oracle, it's up $8 today, and this is a nice green candle at the bottom. Very nice bullish candle on a daily chart. Can we continue this and keep going up? We'll see. Data reports look good. Possibly could start going back up again, because this is a nice setup right here. And NVIDIA, I think NVIDIA could also recover and go back up again and test that 192 or 195 at some point. But we got to see the earnings. Tesla might be one of the stocks that could recover and look good too, because it's a nice green candle too. But at the same time, got to be careful, because right here it pumped up a lot. So we got to see about this area right here and see will it retrace this pump right here a little bit. Microsoft, I'll put that on the same level as Oracle, and this is a nice area possibly to buy Microsoft for a nice reversal to go back up again and maybe test that 516 at some point. All right, everyone, subscribe. If you want to see a certain stock, type the stock in the comments. And if I see a lot of people commenting that stock, I'll do a nice analysis on that chart, tell you where to buy and sell. So like the video, comment, because it shows support for my channel, and it helps out a lot. It really does. And it helps me decide what kind of video to make next, because the more likes and comments, I know that people are interested in it, and I'll make more just like it. Take care.